then fire them as well. And so I wanted to make those comments because I think it's important for the board to have full information before it takes action.
Any other public comment?
My name is Leah Hilson. As a concerned veteran teacher of 25 plus years solely in the Vermilion Parish public school system, as well as a Vermilion Parish taxpayer for even more years, I'm not only disturbed but befuddled by the manner in which some of our school board members sitting before us tonight have conducted themselves by continuing to prolong the cleared allegations against Superintendent Puyau. This board puts themselves first by spending the monies that they claim not to have. Our school board is paying or about to pay thousands of dollars in legal fees rather than putting it into the schools and its educators. The money is evidently available if they can hire one attorney, not like his decision, and then choose to hire another. When will this wasting of the money stop? So for those of you who may not be aware, according to the January 21st, 2016 revised complaints and grievances document initiated by Ms. LaBeouf and passed by the board at that time, Level 5 states that the board chooses from a board-approved random list of hearing officers and attorneys to carry out any investigation of a teacher or superintendent. This board selected and hired Mr. Ed Abel from Lafayette, who supplied 15 pages of documentation clearing Superintendent Puyau. Virtually none of the complaints followed the grievance procedure in the correct manner. In addition, no complaints showed cause of disciplinary action against Superintendent Puyau. It seems now that some of the members of the board didn't get the results they wanted, and now will probably hire another attorney and spend more money. Money that could possibly go back to the teachers and simply getting our 13th check back. There are a multitude of ways that the money wasting frivolously can be used in the schools as well. Why throw away tax money to chase your wanted outcome? And that's just something. I am not incompetent, nor as well some of these elected officials may call a puppet. I'm here to be heard and state my opinion of some of the board members wasting thousands of dollars and predictably tens of thousands if this continues. I would like to see monies placed where needed, which isn't in the hands of another attorney. In the miscellaneous section in the document mentioned earlier, item 1 states a grievance may be withdrawn at any level without prejudice of record. In other words, this can end now. Also, in level 6 of the grievance process, which Mr. Puyau is now in, it states that the board shall dispose of the grievance within 30 days of receipt of this transcript, unless extended for good cause. According to the attorney that this board selected and hired, Mr. Abel states in his findings, this is a jumble of personal impressions and complaints with little relevance to the purpose constituting cause. The way I look at it is, you can't win every battle, and every battle is not to be fought. Some of you want more than a battle. You want control. But as a teacher, I am not elected. I selected my profession and act as a professional, and I won't pass the buck on someone else, nor leave when the going gets tough. But in the case of these elected officials, it is time to stop this chaos. This embarrassing representation you are setting for Vermilion Parish is unethical and disheartening, and it is time to pull together. Thank you for your time.
Amen. Come on.
Good evening. Tom Thompson. And I have two comments to make. Commendation to the young lady. Whether this board views it as a judgment or just a simple ruling of the hearing officer, it's my understanding that that procedure was adopted by this board, and the hearing officer appointed to determine this matter, and he did so. And the question is, are you going to accept his judgment or are you not? He's made specific findings about the inefficiency or insufficiency of the evidence before, about the lack of statutory authority for the board to do what it's done, and he specifically found this board to have acted arbitrarily, capriciously. And I'm assuming that each of you received a letter from Mr. Puyau's attorney, which lays out constitutional deficiencies in the hearing that was tried to be conducted. There were no charges, no written charges. He didn't come on school board now. He couldn't talk to school employees. He couldn't cross-examine. He couldn't call them as witnesses. I mean, these are deficiencies, as I said the other day. And Mr. Blackwell agrees with the concept of constitutional due process at the administrative stage of this matter is irrelevant. The Constitution trumps educational law, and it affords all of us fundamental due process. And I would like to echo Mr. Lane's comments to this board. You stand in particularly troubled waters if you reject the motion before the substitute motion. I would encourage you to drop the substitute motion. Let's put this matter to rest and get on with the business of educating our students. And with that, that's all I have to say. Thank you for your time.
Any more public comment? Board members? No, I'm sorry. Who else? You have to come up.
Sure do.
I am by no means a public speaker, but I'm up here. My name is Jennifer Huffbauer. I had 4 kids in the, went to North Vermilion and Indian Bayou, 3 in college right now. But what these 2 people said was extraordinary. And if you 4 really listen to what he said, think about it. People have to be tired of all this commotion, and the representation of Vermilion Parish is terrible because of all the fighting. It's time to stop. Very disappointed in my school board member. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. In another 4 years, I might be running against you. It's got to stop. I mean, you're treating someone in authority, Mr. Jerome, like dirt. I mean, it's just uncalled for. And I just wish y'all could all come together. I know not everything will be agreed upon, but, you know, you could try. That's, you know, you could try. You really could try. My uncle, Mr. Gardner Dew, was on the board for 16 years, many years ago, and he was a great man of integrity, and he tried to get along with everybody. I think Mr. Pilette knows him, right? And I think you could say he was a great man. You know, I mean, y'all can make it good, but you have to try. But anyway, thank you.
Gerald Gospel. I would like to agree with everything that these last few people that come up and said. We need to get off this circle you were talking about. And if you vote against that tonight, we're just gonna spin around again. We're all getting dizzy with all this going around in circles. Okay, I'm very dizzy with it. And what she said about being embarrassed of being embarrassed, I'm almost to the point, well, I am to the point of being embarrassed. Everywhere I go, the first question is, man, what's up with this school board? Why can't you guys agree to something and move on, and let's worry about all this other stuff later? All this little petty stuff going on, and it is petty, mostly because you don't like the man. It's just that simple. It all started with that because of your dislike. You can shake your head all you want, but you know that's what it is. Deep down in your heart, you know that's what it is. So we need to move on and just go on and do what you were elected to do. Do what you were elected to do. Run the Vermilion Parish School Board and let these educators, these guys up here, run the school like they're supposed to do. You're trying to micromanage everything that is being done up there. You can't do that and run a successful business, and this is what this is. So why can't you get together and look in your heart and know that you're doing the right thing for the school district? I'm tired of being embarrassed, I really am, and it is really pathetic. It really is pathetic, and I think everybody here, regardless of what side they're on, is tired of all this foolishness, and that's all it is. It's foolishness that you're doing. Get on and quit spending the money. These teachers could use the money that you're wasting on lawyers. Give it to them. Give it to them. They could use it. Why spend on all these lawyers, and you hire lawyers just like I said last time? Are you going to agree if you decide to hire this other attorney? Or are you going to agree with it, or if it doesn't meet what you expect, you're gonna say, nope, we gotta throw that one out and get another lawyer? Is that what's gonna happen? That looks like that's what's gonna happen. That's what happened the last time. You voted on this guy to do a hearing, he did it. Oh, no, that's not right. That's illegal. He had some stuff going on, bias or whatever. So we're not gonna accept that one. So let's hire somebody else. Are you gonna accept, or are you gonna vote to hire this other attorney? I already get the feeling that some of you don't wanna hire this attorney. You're saying maybe somebody has, knows this guy and to be biased, okay? Well, that all has to stop. That definitely has to stop. You're supposed to be adults. You were hired, you were elected to run the school board, to do your duty. Read your bylaws. Y'all are breaking so many of your own rules with reading the bylaws. Have y'all read the bylaws? Apparently not. Apparently not. You're definitely not following Robert's Rules of Order all the time. Not by a long shot. Not by a long shot. But read your bylaws and see what your duties are. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I said this Monday night, hi, my name's Gwen Alpha. I said this Monday night and I'm gonna say it again. Whatever y'all decide tonight, I am tired of craziness too, but it goes two ways. It was not investigated, and I personally know the people that have contacted Ms. Laura, for sure. And I'm sure Mr. Duke, we got a lot of complaints because I know people in my district, which is his district. I don't know anyone in Miss Sarah's. I know a few in North Vermilion, so I don't know if you got any. There are teachers that are still terrified of Mr. Jerome. There are parents that cannot talk to the man. They have went into his office, so unless you dealt with him personally and he didn't, if he liked you, wonderful, wonderful. But there's some of us that he laughs in our faces. Okay, that is intimidating and it's scary. Your kids are in this school and this man is running this mess. I don't care who thinks he's so great. He's not great to everybody. He's only great to some. So yes, if you love him, good, wonderful. He's been great to you, but he's not been great to a lot of us. So I don't know what I'm even trying to ask y'all to do, but I'm still asking that some kind of investigation goes on no matter what y'all decide, put him back or don't put him back in the schools. It needs to be investigated. People need to be able to talk, and they will not talk to him because he intimidates them. He is a bully. And I will say that. I don't care if it's whatever, the